That what you just saw was Counter-Strike, one of the most popular PC games ever. But how does a game become that popular? And why is it that in the last 26 years it has been a staple in the FPS genre? Well, for one, in its long lifespan it has stayed the same for the most part. Yes, some items were added and removed and graphics and maps have changed a little bit, but for the majority of its lifespan it has always had the same meta, maps and bullshit spray patterns. Because of this it has stayed simple yet complex. For example, grenades. While seeming to be very easy to use, there are many things you can do with them, such as lineups for example, which are so batshit insane that the only thing, probably more complexer than this, is the AK spray pattern. Speaking of, obtaining guns is different than your average Call of Duty. You can't just pick a class and roll with it. You, even as the counter-terrorists, will buy guns with money, which is obtained passively and by completing in-game objectives. Or in English, shoot guy equals money. So if you don't have any money, say goodbye to your armor and M4 because you will have to earn to play with such equipment. And the only guns you will ever really play with are the Deagle, USP, Glock, AK-47, M4 and up, because they're the meta. And any other gun can inobjectively suck it according to the average Counter-Strike player. Oh, and by the way, the only people you will ever play with if you go solo are from the Eastern European wastelands.
What are you doing?
I think your microphone is too loud.
No, this is too loud.
Which populate the game in the same way that they suffer from alcoholism. So if you wonder why your teammates suck beside the lack of communication, it's because their day looks like this and their setup like that. The maps you play luckily barely impact your experience. Why? Well, because Counter-Strike is such a competitive FPS game, Valve has dedicated itself to making everything as balanced as it possibly can. This means that the maps range from fucking peak to absolute mid based on your personal preference, of course. Speaking of absolute peak, because Valve has actively supported the competitive player base, Counter-Strike has a massive esport scene with yearly multi-million-dollar tournaments with some absolute mental plays, which couldn't have done without, of course, the gunplay. And as I said previously, the meta is basically the Star of David, and the recoil on some guns is questionably high. Also, unlike many shooters of its original and modern era, you can barely move while shooting, because the inaccuracy will be so high that it will make the JFK assassination seem easy. And if you want to learn more about this, I'd recommend a video about this game from CS Ghost Animation, which goes deeper into how to understand it. So how does the average match of Counter-Strike go? Well, like this. So at the start of each round, both sides, the terrorists and the counter-terrorists, buy the equipment they want to use for that round. Then the match actually starts. The terrorists have got to plant a bomb at one of the two sides or kill all the counter-terrorists, while the counter-terrorists have the goal of defending said sides by either defusing said bomb, killing all the terrorists before said bomb is planting, or just preventing the bomb from being planted for 2 minutes straight. At the end of the round, one of the two sides of course wins. This goes on until one team has won 13 matches. After the 12th round, players switch sides, and the first round, as each side, is a round where you can only buy pistols. Or you just don't do anything during a round, because Counter-Strike's anti-cheat sucks. Also, if you got a VR headset, you can play Pavlov VR, which as the name suggests, isn't only a social experiment.
Mason, you're fired! What? I just started! The women's rights books don't belong in the sci-fi and fantasy section!
But Counter-Strike in VR. And because this is a Valve game, people have tried to port this to every device imaginable. So if you don't have a PC, you can always of course play Counter-Strike on Android. So yeah, that's Counter-Strike, a legendary staple of the esports genre, about planting bombs with weird as fuck gunplay. Thanks for the support on the most recent video, it really is helpful. And if you have any suggestions, maybe leave them in the comments, and of course leave a like to make the algorithm love me.